What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 14. So if you haven't seen Season 11, Episode 14 of Married to Medicine, turn this video off, go watch the episode, then come back and watch this review. Please like the review, subscribe to my channel. It's free, it's anonymous. Simple way to support my channel. It takes less than 5 seconds of your time. Ooh, excuse me. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words, say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. I'm going to be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Please excuse my heavy breathing. I'm getting bigger and bigger over here. And still no baby. 8 days past my due date. Still no baby. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode. What you thought about it. If there's anything I leave out or I'm off on or I forget, let me know in the comments. Did I forget to say anything? Like and subscribe to the channel. Best way to support my channel. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. Because of what we had, because of the event that we had in this episode, I'm going to give it a B+. Because a lot of people need more awareness about diabetes. Because at one point, my doctor told me I was on the cusp of being diabetic if I didn't start eating and exercising right and whatever. This was before I got pregnant, though. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a B+. Yeah, maybe I'll change it at the end of this review. Maybe I won't, but you guys are welcome to leave your own comments and criticisms and how you felt about the episode, what I talked about, all that stuff. Leave it in the comments. Yeah. Last Chance, Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 14. If you haven't seen it, turn this video off so you don't get any spoilers. Let me try to get through this one. I did two reviews before this one. And it seemed like when I got to this one, it's like my body trying to say, you need to go lay down. But I just came from laying down, so it's just like, oh, I don't know what this baby girl wants from me at this point. We're going to try to get through it. Maybe I have to stop it and restart, edit it, and whatever. But we're going to try to get through it. So, usually I don't talk about the little quick scenes that they show in the episodes. But it was one quick scene that stood out to me. And that's Toya letting this damn boy put weave in his hair. She's like, come down here and get this packet of hair. And she's like, you the one said you wanted braids. And I'm like, what? Putting weave in the boy's hair? But I guess that's Atlanta for you. Because I was like, what? But, I was just like, I was shooketh when they said that. I was like, she putting weave in the son's hair? Well, okay. So, the first official scene, Simone and Jackie have lunch, like they used to do back before they had that falling out. I was like, this is cute. This is a throwback, a nice little throwback. So Jackie starts to tell Simone about her conversation with Phaedra. And she says they finally finalized the Met Gala money. And Phaedra wrote her a check for $40K. And they showed a clip of Phaedra writing the check. I could have swore it was a little more than that. I thought it was like $57,000. But maybe after they did the total estimates and everything, maybe it was just $40K. So they show that. And Jackie's like, the $100,000 is money in the bank. It's all sent to the foundation and whatnot. Then, she talks about Phaedra not coming around the group anymore because of the whole Apollo situation. And then they show this flashback clip for the 1,000th time of Heavenly asking Phaedra if Apollo could come and Phaedra basically saying it's okay. But like I said, you got to remember, Heavenly had already invited Apollo before she asked Phaedra. So it makes me wonder if Phaedra would have said no, it'll make me uncomfortable. Would Heavenly messy ass have went back to Apollo and be like, well, I gotta uninvite you because Phaedra don't want you there? I don't think she would have did. I feel like she would have still let Apollo come. So yeah, so Simone brings up, well, you know, Phaedra brought Apollo to the reunion last year, so what's the difference? And then Jackie says, well, Phaedra feels like the reunion was more of a controlled setting than bringing Apollo on the couples trip. And she says that Phaedra said that Apollo gets angry when he sees her with other men. So then Simone's like, well, if she knows that he gets angry when he sees her with other men, and she knew he was coming on the couples trip, then she should have known not to bring Shek to get him upset. And it's like, that's a good point, but at the same time, she's a grown woman. If she want to bring a man, he should just get over it because y'all are divorced. She not with you no more. But I also understood where Simone was coming from. Like, if you know he gets angry when he sees you with the other men, then why'd you bring another man on the couples trip that you barely know? So I get both sides. So then Simone, she brings up Greg pressing charges against King. And, you know, her and Jackie are wondering how they're going to work for the dynamic of the group if King can't come around, because Quad's not going to come. Quad's not going to want to come around if King don't want to come around. I mean, if King can't come around. And then I thought we saw the last of this. I thought we saw the first and the last of Gregory's little singing video. But no, he sent that shit to Cecil. And Cecil sent it to Simone. So now Simone's showing Jackie the goddamn video of Greg singing. I want a new life now. I got a new wife now. I thought we was done with that damn video, but I guess not. But hopefully we done with it now. So, then we get this scene between Heavenly and Contessa. They meet for lunch. They start off, we're just gonna agree that it's gonna take some time for us to get back to where we used to be, or at least be friendly enough. Because I don't think they'll ever get back to where they used to be. It's too much damage done there. So Heavenly tells Contessa, well, she's like, we both did stuff that's wrong. I want you to admit what you did. I want you to admit your wrongdoings. And Contessa's like, well, what does that look like? And so Contessa's like, she feels like where their relationship went left is when Heavenly called Scott abusive. So Heavenly's like, I don't think that's where it went left. And so Heavenly's like, how about we just, they both agree to disagree and to just move on from it. And they hug it out in a better space for now in this moment. So then Contessa talks about her event that's coming up, how she aligned herself with the American Diabetes Association, and that they want to do a local health fair, basically to bring more awareness about diabetes. And she's saying that she hopes that everyone can come, put the differences to the side, everyone can come. And Heavenly's like, well, I think that's irresponsible, especially since charges have been filed. So then Contessa says that, you know, she thinks that Greg is wrong for not wanting King around. And she says that she's still going to invite everybody. Because this is something that everybody should be able to put their pride to the side, and which they should. But I also see where Heavenly's coming from. This charges being involved, you don't really want to be around somebody that's pressing charges against you. So then we get this scene between Eugene and Toya. We find out Eugene, we find out that a tow truck flatbed fell on Eugene's toe. And we see him tending to it in this scene. And Toya's like, ew, it looks like a mini penis. Toya just be saying shit. So Toya then tells Eugene about her conversation with Sweet Tea and Mimi. And then Eugene tells Toya about his conversation with Scott and Greg. And he says, you know, last year, Quad wasn't even our friend. And we don't even know King like that. And he says he feels like Greg and Sweet Tea think that they're being abandoned by the group. And he says if he was in their position, he would feel the same way. And this is why I like Eugene, because he's saying it from their point of view. Yeah, Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea are, Dr. Greg is cringy. And in certain situations, he may have been wrong. But at the same time, Greg is y'all friend. Y'all, it seemed like y'all trying to pick King and Quad's side over Greg and Sweet Tea. When just last season, y'all was all Greg and Sweet Tea rave. Y'all was all the rave about them. So, Eugene says in the confessional, Greg and Sweet Tea may just need some time to get their mental right, get everything right, and that's okay. And Toya's like, no, they need to take accountability and face their problems head on, blah, blah, blah. So they're not really on the same page, but Eugene, he just happy wife, happy life. He's like, yes, dear. Okay, dear. So then we have this awkward scene with Quad and King, and I'm just like, do we even really need them? They not giving us much. So they have dinner in the jacuzzi, and Quad brings up them moving in together, and King, he doesn't necessarily want to move into Quad's house. He says he'd rather them get a house together. Quad's in the confessional, like, I don't want to be confined to a house by a man again. She tells him how she has sentimental value with that house because she bought it with her own money. It was her first purchase. Her first home that she bought. And she's asking King, like, why can't you foresee? Because King's like, Quad's like, I feel like you don't want to move in because it's just the ego of it all. And she's like, why you can't foresee your ego? And King's like, it's not about the ego. It's about, sorry if I keep going out of the frame. I just need to lean. Y'all, I'm just trying to get through it. So, she's telling King why you can't foresee your ego. And King's like, it's not about my ego. It's about the natural order of things. And he's like, because you be having me do manly stuff like take out the trash and make the bed and whatnot. And Quad's like, that's because in my recent marriage, I didn't have that. And they showed a flashback of Greg not doing those things. And, King talks about we can't keep living in the past and whatnot. And he's like, well, we could think about this more as far as moving in together. And we'll talk about it more. And then it says eventually she'll side with him. I'm just like, I don't know if he was joking when he said that or... But I was looking at King like, ooh. But I mean, if Quad likes the submissive role that King plays, then, like he said, eventually you'll come to my side. And they just gonna end up getting a home together. I found it weird that they didn't even consider King's place an option. So it makes me wonder how King's place looks compared to Quad's. But either way. So then we get to scene Simone and Cecil. They stop by their rental property, a.k.a. the boys' condo. Because that's where their sons are staying at. And, of course, Simone comes in. They showing the apartment. They're showing the condos looking trashy, dirty. She's pointing out how dirty it is. This is when she reveals that the boys never even paid them when they came to the house, when her and Cecil came to the house and cleaned it up. And I said, oh, hell no. They be letting these little boys get away with murder. Like, yeah, y'all took the little $400 speaker, but they never paid y'all for cleaning the house. And then it's just like, y'all keep being sweet on them. They not going to learn. B, they not going to want to learn. C, they're not going to care. They're going to keep doing what they want to do. So, Simone suggests that they just move back in the house with them because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing at this condo. And I'm just like, these ultimatums or these stipulations that they telling these boys are nothing. They probably wouldn't even care if they had to move back in the house. I'm just like, y'all not giving them real stern consequences. So Cecil then suggests that they write up a new contract from the one that they wrote up when the boys first moved in. And I'm just like, if they didn't abide by the first contract, what makes you think a new one's going to do anything? So then Simone, she reads aloud all the utilities and what they would have to split. And it seems like they don't make enough to meet the requirements to pay all the utilities, the mortgage, gas, electric, water. So Cecil suggests that he and Simone take 5% from of the boys' earnings from every paycheck that they get. So Simone's like, make sure y'all email us those pay stubs, cause I ain't gonna believe word of mouth of how much y'all make. And I'm just like, there they go, letting them off easy again. And it seems like the two of them together would have to pay. I think they said like $11.59 each month, and Simone was like, y'all don't make enough to do that. So I'm just like, how much are they making? And then I'm like, they in Atlanta. I thought that Atlanta was cheap. That shit was sounding like DC prices. So we get to the final scene of the episode, which is Contessa's diabetes event. She gets there first, of course, gets the walkthrough. There's also a kidney foundation there. We got some former athletes there to give info, insight, whatnot. So we get the scene in the car with Heavenly and Damon. They're on their way to Contessa's event. Damon's talking in his confessional about he just really don't fuck with Greg no more after he feel like Greg didn't have his back. I feel like it all stems from Greg saying he don't know what Damon would do when it come to Damon being called out by Sweet Tea about cheating. I feel like that's Damon's that's his whole thing with Greg. He never fully forgave Greg, even though they had a talk. So I just feel like he don't see it for Greg no more. So since King don't see it for Greg, he on King's side. So he in his confession talking about he feel like it's unfair that King can't come. And I'm just like, no shade to King, but don't he sell cars? What would he contribute to Contessa's event? Maybe he was talking about King not being able to come around the group, period. But in this instance, I don't think King needed to be there. It was Quad neither. Like, they not medical related. What would they have contributed? So, Damon, he goes on, I never met another calm guy like King in a while. And I'm like, you just met him. You don't know how this nigga is in real life. That's why I say he just want to find a reason. And then you notice at the end of the episode when the guys sat down to talk to Greg, Damon didn't sit with them and talk with them. I mean, granted, Heavenly was leaving, but still. It's just like, if you really cared for, if he was really your boy, you would have stayed and had a conversation with him with the rest of the guys. So, of course, Heavenly's in the car talking about, I just don't think Greg is ready to see Quad and King together. Which could also be true, too. So, Contessa, she gets on the mic, makes a speech about, what this event is basically about, represents, whatnot. She's also in a confessional talking about her family that she's lost to diabetes, or how many of her family members have diabetes, and talks a little bit about the stats and whatnot. And the guys, they outside, they talking about, I love when the women can come and put the differences to the side to do these medical missions. And inside, the ladies are chatting, and Quad, she's like, I just won't be around Greg and Sweet Tea. And Contessa expresses how she feels like Sweet Tea is somewhat going through what Quad went through last season. And Quad, she gets defensive. She's like, and I endured it all, blase, blase. And Contessa, she's like, what? She feels like Sweet Tea shouldn't be alienated because of Greg. And, Quad brings up how King can't be around and how she feels like that's unfair. And, Contessa then tells Quad, just like you come with the +1 and King, Sweet Tea comes with the +1. And this is when Heavenly chimes in. She's like, not when there's a charge in place. And Contessa's like, don't be so negative talking about Heavenly. And Jackie's like, shh, be quiet, Heavenly. But Heavenly, she gonna keep saying stuff. So then Heavenly and Contessa, they have like a little back and forth. It's not too big, but people are starting to look and notice that they're having a disagreement. And Contessa tells Heavenly, you can leave. She's like, we don't need you now. You can leave. And I was just like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Contessa. It's a medical event. She's a medical professional. Don't do that. I know Heavenly can be much, but I was like, don't do that, Contessa. So she's sharing with the guys that Greg said, King could possibly, about his conversation with Greg and Eugene, how Greg said that King could possibly get fined or prison time. And the guys, they ain't really feeling that. It's just Curtis, Steve, and Damon. Yeah, because Eugene and Sawyer aren't there. Yeah, so they talk about that. Steve says that he talked with King and that King is willing to just have a conversation and move past things and continue on with the group. And Scott says, basically Greg don't feel the same way. Says Greg feels like Quad needs to fix things. And the guys, of course, disagree. They like, if you filing charges against King, it should be a conversation between you and King. And you and King need to fix things. So Greg and Sweet Tea finally arrive to the event. So Quad and Heavenly, they leave. And of course, I guess Damon too. So Contessa and Mimi go over to check in with Sweet Tea. And Contessa's telling Sweet Tea, I want to make sure that you feel safe within the group. And Sweet Tea says that not all the time she feels mentally safe in the group. She doesn't always feel mentally safe within the group. And she's like, she's just being honest. So then Mimi's asking Sweet Tea, well, like, what do you want as far as everything? And she's like, can you navigate within the group? And they have some more talking. I can't even remember what Sweet Tea says. But then the guys, they pull Greg outside. And like I said, Damon's gone. So it's just Steve, Curtis, and Scott. And Scott tells Greg, I shared with the guys our last conversation we had with Eugene. And Steve asks Greg, like, are you willing to drop the charges and move forward? And Greg's like, I won't be disrespected. He's being stubborn. And then we get a flash between the ladies and the guys. And they basically talking about how it feels like a choosing situation. Like we got to pick and choose who we with type of situation. And Greg's just like, that's on y'all. He in the confessional was like, that's on them. They feel like they got picked. I thought we was more than that. I thought we was brothers. Like in Greg's defense, they known Greg longer. So it's kind of wild that they even sitting here saying that they would have to choose and they don't even know King like that. But Steve the one talking about, I feel like we got to choose. Nigga, you knew too. But that's how the episode ends. And yeah, like I said, because of the awareness of diabetes, I'm going to give it a B+. It wasn't the best episode, but I like when they come together and do actual medical stuff. Because the name of the show is Married to Medicine, so. And I mean, we see in the next episode, it seems like Quad is trying to make them choose between her and Sweet Tea. And her and King, of course, are still avoiding Greg and Sweet Tea. I mean, we're just going to see how that's going to happen. Because next week is the season finale, so. We're going to see what's going to happen with them. And then I guess what's going to happen at the reunion. But, like I said, B+ because of the cause of it all. Comment below what you would grade the episode, what you thought about it. If there's anything that I forgot or I left out, or I was off on, let me know in the comments. Oh, I've been talking for 25 minutes. I did good. Take 5 more seconds while I'm closing out of this review and hit the like button and subscribe button to help support my channel. It's free, it's anonymous, and yeah, it's the best way to support. More Married to Medicine things related will come up on your timeline algorithm if you like and subscribe. So you want to support without doing too much, liking and subscribing is the best way to do it. Comment below. Thanks for watching this review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.